Get our numbers from Marissa if you need them. Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning into this broadcast of Clemson Tigers hockey here on Tigervision. I'm Wyatt Streett, joined by Matt Tiahrt, and we are here at the Pavilion in Taylors, South Carolina, the coolest place in town and the home of your Clemson Tigers ice hockey team. We've got a great matchup in store for you tonight as the Tigers are playing host to the Georgia Bulldogs, or as they call themselves in hockey, the Ice Dogs. Yes, Ice Dogs versus Tigers here tonight. Should be a great matchup. These teams have already played once this season, so the Tigers looking for some redemption as that first game down in Athens didn't quite go the Tigers' way, an 8-3 shellacking in favor of the Ice Dogs. So Tigers looking for some redemption and more so looking to get into the win column as well. They're on a season-long schneid. The one win against Charlotte, not official.
Doesn't count.
So Tigers officially 0-7-3. I have an asterisk here because of the Charlotte game, but 0-7-3. They dropped a 2-game set last weekend right here against Coastal Carolina. Both games, like you said, devastating. Both games, the Tigers held leads, and in both games blew those leads, losing those games. The first one being heartbreaking overtime loss. So, Matt, with all this in mind, what is the state of mind down there in the Tigers locker room right now?
I had Nick Baltus on my podcast, Beer Money Sports. Check it out.
I listened. Great episode.
Was a great episode. Me and Baltus were great friends, so just good chemistry. One thing he said is this team actually grows closer together every time they lose. It's like a reverse psychology there. Just always knowing not to give up on each other. So I know as a fact, Nick Baltus is a witness that this team is ready. They're loose, they're having fun, and they're never going to give up on each other when the going gets tough. So that's kind of the mentality on the ice, is just to have fun.
And I feel that when I played high school baseball, I was on a team that lost a lot, and we bonded a lot because of that. We got really close, and so there's definitely a lot of truth to that. This team, it's done a lot of losing this season, but recently they've got a lot of bright spots, a lot to take from. Silver linings, if you will, to pull from and to show that they've got some momentum moving forward that can really help them. Just last week, those 2 games against Georgia Tech, we were saying it during the broadcasts, those were the 2 best games we've seen this team play all season long. They looked very good. They played on the attacking end very well. Best passing we've seen from them. Very aggressive. And then defensively, doing a very good job. Pieknik, as always, Stapleton getting up there as well, laying people out, playing their physical style of defense that we come to know and love from this team. And they played great hockey, but unfortunately, still nothing to show for it.
So I think after the Georgia Tech game, they took that one. They took pretty hard. So I think they just got back to the basics. Coach Loughran said they had a lousy practice after South Carolina, but it actually turned into 2 really good games last weekend against Coastal Carolina. So again, I think it's like a reverse mentality where these guys, like, they're kind of slacking off on the ice, but off the ice their bond's never been stronger. So let's see if they can transition that to on the ice, finish off on a strong note, go into the winter break with a win, because, again, like I said last week on the hockey show, that will do tremendously for their mentality.
Yes, but unfortunately for the Tigers, they've got a tough task in store for them tonight as they try to get that elusive first victory on the season here in their last game of the first semester, because Georgia comes into this game, as it seems so often in our games, Georgia comes into this game on the opposite end of the Tigers. 8-4-1 the Ice Dogs are on the season. They did drop their first 4 games of the year, but they're coming off back-to-back victories, Ole Miss and Florida, respectively, for both of those games. They've played very well this season. They've beaten this Georgia Tech team that beat the Tigers 11-1. So, and as we mentioned earlier at the beginning of this broadcast, 8-3 down in Athens the last time these 2 teams played in favor of the Ice Dogs. Georgia playing very well this season, so going to be a tough task in store for the Tigers tonight. Want to shout out as well their points leader, Caleb Santamaria. He's also leading both goals and assists, 11 goals, 9 assists, respectively, on the season. So he seems to be the bright spot for this team.
Yeah, he's Mr. Gordie Howe, do it all down there on the ice. So what number is he?
Number 9, I believe.
Number 9, okay. So tough task. We'll be looking out for him. I do want to point out, though, when we spoke to the Georgia Tech coach, right before we lost to them in overtime, he said this Georgia team is different. They weren't as good as they are last year. I think that is false. I think coming off 8 straight wins is ridiculous. So this Georgia team is really good. They have I sort of envy them. They have the funding to bring their own bus on an hour drive. They have a sick arena. I'm just going to shout them out all night. They've done it right.
Yes.
They've built this program really well. That's what we're trying to get to. So, but I think with us not owning a regulation-sized rink is actually going to benefit us. They're used to bigger ice, having more space. They're going to have to get used to not having as much space in the offensive zone. So I think that is one benefit we can have with against this Georgia team.
And we can talk about that a little bit more in a moment. But right now, I want to talk about something very specific.
Yes.
You know what's coming. Georgia, as we've seen from Coastal Carolina, we did not see her play. They had a female player. She didn't travel with the team. Georgia Tech, they had a female player. I believe her name was Evo. She played in the game at Bon Secours. Tonight, we're seeing another female player. Her name is Emily Barber. She's in goal tonight as well, junior. So
unbelievable.
It's really cool. We saw from Georgia Tech, we were talking a lot about her, and really, that was the first time all season we'd seen a team with a female player. We were talking a lot about how great that was for the sport, how awesome it was to see someone blazing a trail. We didn't expect to see more, but here we are. We've come across 2 others. This is the second player we've gotten to see in person. She's starting in goal tonight, and once again, as I texted you earlier, it's just really awesome to see these women blazing this trail and getting these opportunities to play hockey at this level. Yeah,
so we talked to the Georgia Tech coach about Ava, and he said she's just another player. She's just one of the defensemen, and she plays really smart hockey. This is a whole different ballgame. This starting goalie is undefeated. She's 2-0. She has the best save percentage on the team. Yeah. She's the best goalie on their team.
.925 that save percentage.
This is, again, a whole different ballgame. We talked about Ava kind of trailblazing, kind of like starting to create an opportunity for women to play in this sport at this level.
Yeah.
She's not only is she trailblazing in this position, she's dominating in this position. She's undefeated.
I mean, she's only given up 4 goals, and that's opposite 49 saves.
Yeah. This is unbelievable. I'm actually a little nervous to play her because she's so good.
Yeah, and she's gotten limited opportunities. Georgia Tech 3 goalies on their roster. The other 2 have played 5 games, so limited opportunities in comparison to them. But even with that, her save percentage is better. Theirs are both somewhere in the 800s. Hers is .925, as we mentioned. She's been playing very well the limited opportunities she's gotten, and clearly she knows what she's doing down there and blazing a path for other women in this sport.
If we weren't playing against her, I'd be rooting for her. So
I still am.
Yeah, deep down inside, this is just awesome. It's awesome to see, and I'm really happy for this sport.
I'm glad you said that. It's great for the sport is what I was getting ready to say.
Yes.
To see these women coming in, blazing a trail, paving a path for others to follow. It's really cool. And hopefully, as pretty sure we said this at Bon Secours as well, hopefully we get to the point where this isn't a big deal. Hopefully it's something that we're talking about now, maybe 5, 10, 15 years down the line. It's not seen as an issue, or not an issue, but it's not seen as something noteworthy at all. It's just another player out there on the ice. But for now, each of these times, it's only been one player, only one female player on a roster full of other guys. And she stands out, but it's really cool to see this trail being blazed.
Yeah, it's actually soccer and hockey are kind of like 2 of the outliers in sports, whereas soccer, we've seen our women's are world champs. They're probably better they're probably better than the men.
The men can't even make the World Cup.
And again, in hockey, our female national team, they're world champs. They beat Canada in the gold medal game a couple years ago, whereas our team, we find it really difficult to beat Canada. So I think this is a sport that's kind of an outlier with soccer, that the women are dominating at the highest level, whereas the men kind of struggle. So
that's right.
Maybe the men can take a note from the women on how to play some hockey.
Maybe. A lot to be learned, a lot of knowledge to be spread. But tonight, we have 2 great teams getting ready to duke it out here. The Tigers coming in looking for a first victory on the season. Georgia looking to get their 9th, but is trying to stay hot, trying to make their 2 straight victories, 3 straight victories. beating the Tigers their last time around, but that one was in Athens. Tonight, it's the Tigers who have the home ice advantage. Going back to what you said earlier, the smaller ice here, Georgia's ice, the regulation size. We saw how that played out in Bon Secours firsthand. Tonight, it's the smaller sized ice, which we've noted all season long has favored Clemson, especially when teams like Georgia, who are used to the bigger ice, come to town.
Yeah, Georgia Tech came into town and we took them to overtime. And then we played their game with only 3 defensemen, and they absolutely destroyed us. So I think this is going to be a change of pace for this Georgia team. And I think, again, the message, like I said when I had Nick Baltus on the podcast, is have fun. Nothing to lose. I mean, you've lost every game other than Charlotte. So have fun, go into the break, and try to get back on the right page. So.
Yeah, so we're almost ready for some hockey. The starters are getting out there. The warm-ups have ended. Seems like the lines are getting ready to go. And just to point out, once again, that's Emily Barber in net for the Georgia Ice Dogs. And down at the Tigers' end, that's Jake Badger in net. Badger, we've given a lot of praise all season long. Let's see if he can keep his hot hand going as well. The teams are ready to go. It's almost time. The referee is signaling, and let's do that hockey. The puck is dropped, and it's the Tigers who win the opening faceoff, but Georgia will reclaim possession in the neutral zone. It's going to get sent down behind the Clemson net, and the Tigers now looking to regain possession. The puck has been bouncing around, and now the Tigers trying to move it forward. A pass across the ice gets knocked away, lost in the neutral zone. Georgia turning it back around, getting ready for a shot. Tried to go 5-hole, and Badger says, no, sir, you will not.
Something interesting to point out is that our starting 5 on the ice has 2 freshmen, Liam Clark at left wing and Lance Ralston at defenseman. So kind of a young starting lineup here. I know we got Isaiah Jackson. He's usually on the starting lineup, but I mean, maybe that's a testament of how well the young players played in practice this week.
Perhaps, and also final game of the semester. You might want to try a few new things here in this game, kind of get an idea maybe of some different things you might be able to do once next semester rolls around.
Yep, that's a good point.
So this puck's going to go, and it's going to meg the referee down there right between his legs. So that looked to be a shot from Ralston, maybe an errant pass, who knows, either way.
Maybe he was hoping someone would be down there, maybe to deflect it, I think was.
Either way, does not connect with whatever the intended target was. This puck picked up behind the Clemson net. Georgia playing some pressing defense. The Tigers trying to move it forward. The pass intercepted. And an amazing job by the Tigers to keep it out of the net there.
That should have been a goal. That was a 2-on-0.
That should have been a goal.
Yes.
Great job down there by number 16, Aiden Evans, as Badger gave up a huge chunk of the goal open, and Evans just keeping his body in front to help out his tender.
Yeah, that was a 2-on-0, and the dude just hit the post. So tough break for Georgia there. That should be 1-0.
Yeah, and the original shot coming off of the stick of Santa Maria, they tried to get him another goal, adding to his points totals on the season. And Georgia, is just going to lay that off for their goalie to cover it up. So we'll get a face-off here in a few seconds. But we talk a lot all season long in all of our games about the shots and how important this is. And right off the bat, Tigers, no shots. Georgia's already up 3 on that counter.
This seems like the narrative we've seen before, other than last weekend. So let's see if we can get back to how we started last weekend.
And there's a shot by the Tigers. Barber puts it away and covers it up. So her first save on the night, and now it's up to 2, so there might have been one that was missed earlier. But the first shot, that one came off the stick of, I believe it was number 9, Halsey, who shot it, but a save by Barber. So that face-off, we see another player, for the first time tonight, a player get kind of tripped up a little bit going down to the ice. The Tigers, very physical all season long. We'll see if that continues tonight. I'm expecting more of it.
Absolutely.
Especially
Isaiah's key to the game is always established physical dominance.
And the defense always takes it to heart, especially our man Jimmy Pieknik. He loves to play him some physical hockey. We tried to have him on the hockey show this past Monday. We'll have him back on this coming Monday if he's still available. And Georgia's moving this puck forward. He tries to shoot but is unable to connect on it as the puck goes awry. So no shot, no dice by the Ice Dogs.
Swing and a miss there.
Yeah, that's strike 1 down there on the ice. You thought baseball season was over. You were wrong.
Yeah, Wyatt loves, if he can sneak in any baseball references, you know he's gonna swing at the chance.
Oh, That was good.
Yeah,
I love it. You got to keep these puns going. A chance for the Tigers here. Clark swarmed by Georgia. So, no dice there for the Tigers. And this puck's going to get sent around, waffle boarding all the way across into the corner. The Tigers, once again, playing physical down there. And it's a scramble for the puck. Nobody seems to be able to get control. Back into the corner. It seems like Georgia's now got the control, but Clemson playing very, very close defense, tight defense, and taking the puck away. There's a shot straight into the gut of Barber, and she scoops it up.
Well, you saw a very physical defense right there, and to no one's surprise, it was James Piechnik. So, as he likes to be called Jimmy, but
yeah, we've been calling him James.
We got to call
him
James Jimmy Johns Piechnik because he's freaky fast out there on the ice. But
Matt, I'm gonna miss this. The face-off, the Tigers. That was Clark on the shot. No dice is Georgia. It's 23 on 23 crime. 23 for the Dogs.
MJ on MJ down there.
LeBron versus MJ down there, perhaps.
Oh, I wish.
Now that would be fun to watch, but this is hockey.
Well, MJ and LeBron in hockey would definitely, on ice skates, would be, I think, even more fun to watch.
I don't know about that. We know what happened the last time Jordan tried a stick sport.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's brutal.
Yeah. Hey, facts are facts, my guy.
He was great in Space Jam, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah. Best performance in any sport from any athlete. Bill Murray. The Tigers now getting possession. That's Clark trying to pass it away, but no dice as Georgia's going to send it away. That was Jackson on the shot, and some physical play here. 29 sending Jackson into the boards. Jackson giving him a little shove like, hey, man,
I don't think anybody forgot the 8-3, again, like you said, shellacking that was put on Clemson last time he faced Georgia. So,
oh, of course not. So that pass is going to go away. The Tigers trying to reclaim possession. Ralston sending it forward. Schreiber passing it off. Stapleton puts it on net, but he sends it right into the gut once again of Emily Barber.
We're playing, this is a different team. 5 straight shots.
Yeah. Just as soon as we point out the Georgia advantage in shots, Tigers come right back and fire off 5 straight.
Yeah, we're actually starting to set some things up. Frankie Stapleton landed off there for Schreiber, trying to get maybe a redirect or some scrambling in front of the goalie. So, but Barber snatching every shot that's come her way.
Yeah, she's trying to play another contender as well, keep up with Badger's brick wall tendencies down there.
She's got to keep her undefeated streak going.
That's true. Keep that save percentage above 9. As Georgia brings this forward, they try to go for the pass. The Tigers intercept it. The turnover forced. That's going to go off of the referee down there in the neutral zone as they just try to send it away. And now the Tigers trying to move it around there in that tiny neutral zone. Getting some fresh legs on the ice as they just move it around a little bit in the neutral zone. Line change. And here we go. Georgia on the attack. And the Tigers playing stifling D once again. Oh, a collision as 2 players go to the ice. Thomas Carroll involved for the Tigers there. That pass across the ice. And it's been weird seeing a 91 out here for Georgia. We don't usually see numbers that high here in club hockey.
I know, 91. What is Tarasenko out there on the ice?
Yeah, that's Chris Karestes. I apologize to him. And that was how did that not go in the net? Badger on his side at the opposite end and just somehow getting back over away. I thought that was a surefire goal.
That's, oh, wow, what a hit by Ryan Ferrone down there, laying somebody.
Yeah,
we got
Ferrone.
a 2-on-1 developing here.
Setting a tone. Another shot knocked away by the shoulder of Barber. This game, I tell you what. First of all, we have Badger being a superhuman down there.
He just dove completely across the goal crease down there.
I swear, how in the world did he make that save?
If you want to know how to do that, go buy NHL, the game, on PlayStation, and press square, and that's how you do that. He just completely laid out his body across the goal crease. Unbelievable save there.
And we're surprised in a way we shouldn't be because we've come to expect things like this from Jake Badger.
Absolutely.
He makes the extraordinary save look rather ordinary to the mere mortals of you and I.
That's right.
But this is just another day at the office for Mr. Badger.
He's been unbelievable. All these losses it's hard to say that they're his fault when he just comes up so big, especially like that. It should be 1-0 Georgia.
Yeah, it should be 2-0 in favor of Georgia had Evans not gotten in the way down there earlier and helped out Badger. So Georgia could very well be up 2-0 right now, but instead we're still all knotted up at 0. 13-10 left in this first period of play. Georgia could be up, but it's still tied. And once again, the Tigers, for one of the only times this season, 6-4, a lead in the shot column. So that could be huge if the Tigers could take advantage of it. And there was a shot, but unable to connect on it fully. Georgia playing stifling defense themselves. But this is going to get sent back. Tigers falling back on defense. That's Piechnik and Baltus. That pass by Georgia awry. Caught in the corner by the Dogs. The Tigers once again playing stifling defense, and they now took the puck away. Georgia will spill it back into their own sticks. And there's a goal for the Dogs. Badger unable to get it going on that one. Well-worked goal by Georgia. And just as we were talking about how they very well could have been up 2-0, they do finally get a goal on the board.
Badger was left on an island there. Nothing he could have done. He was trying to focus on the puck, and he's just left. I think we'll get a confirmation on the goal, but he's just left on an island on the other side of the goal crease, and the dude's got a wide open net, and the puck just finds his way to him. So
yeah,
nothing Badger could have really done there. We were slacking on the weak side D on the back end there. So
yeah, shout out to Christian Brady, our man who's normally in the box, unable to be here with us tonight. He had some family in town, so instead we've got our good friend Gabby Felix, normally working cameras for us, but she's down in the box giving us some insight herself as Badger's going to scoop up that shot. That goal came from number 23. That would be Jackson Katz. The assist, number 17, Matthew Bigda.
Yeah, that was a beautiful pass by Bigda. Again, Georgia just doing a really good job of taking advantage of nobody being on the other side of the goal crease. So finding a way to get the puck to Jackson there, number 23, and it's 1-0 Georgia.
And Georgia on the attack here once again, trying to get something going. Ralston's going to get in the way of that pass. Georgia's going to pick it back up, however, sent back near the blue line. That, we'll say pass, does not meet its mark, but a Bulldog there to pick it up off the boards. That shot's going to go right into the gut of Badgers. He's going to eat it for breakfast. 11:46 left in this first period of play. Georgia up 1-0, and they have retaken the lead in the shot column. 7-6 now in favor of the Ice Dogs.
If I know anything about this Clemson team, going down is never a good sign.
No.
So let's see if we can capitalize on maybe. Well, we were leading in shots. I was going to say capitalize on the shot margin, but we're down in shots once again.
Badger made more saves, but it spills away. He's unable to claim control of it, and Georgia will take a 2-0 lead. Another goal there for the Ice Dogs.
I couldn't see much from up here, Wyatt, but it just looked like a scramble in front of Badger. He lost sight of the puck, and then Georgia just did a really good job of keeping their eyes on the puck, putting it in the back of the net. 2-0 Georgia. And this Clemson team needs to get out of their zone. They've been stuck in their defensive zone for 2 minutes, and it's led to 2 straight goals.
So that goal came off the stick of number 22, Seth Johnson. The assist from number 21, Zach Bochinik. Yeah, like you said, Matt, the puck spilling around in front of Badger. He made a couple of saves, but couldn't quite get control. The defense couldn't get it cleared away. Part of the net left open. And here we go. Georgia on the attack once again. Shot saved. So Badger's going to get the save there. But, yeah, spilling out in front, and the Ice Dogs just taking advantage of the opportunity that they were presented.
Yeah, they, again, I think Badger just lost sight of the puck, and Georgia just did a really good job of keeping their eye on the puck and just putting it in the back of the net. So I think Clemson needs to score. They need to get at least one back before the end of the period, or it's going to be a tough conversation to have during the intermission.
right? And I hate to be the one to point it out, but Tigers, though, they got to be careful because this is kind of how the Georgia Tech game went in Bon Secours. They 2-0 advantage after only one, but this is kind of how that game started to feel. So I think Clemson will have that in the back of their minds as they try to keep Georgia off the board and try to get back on themselves. As that shot's going to go well off the mark. We heard it hitting the boards over there. And it's going to roll. Georgia's going to bring it back all the way behind their own net.
If Clemson doesn't start getting momentum here, it's going to start feeling like quicksand. The harder they try, the more they sink. So
they're trying to get something going. An opportunity, perhaps. Barber blocks it away with her pads. And now an opportunity. 2-on-1 for Georgia. Passing it. And the pass goes away, not hitting the mark. So Georgia had an opportunity to go up potentially by 3, but they will quite literally just send it away. And now a scramble for the puck down there in the corner as the Tigers will win it, but defense, very well executed defense by the Dogs as they'll get the turnover. And now they'll be the ones going on the attack.
Right now they're just suffocating. Clemson just can't even get possession in their offensive zone.
Baltus with a hit into the boards down there. So Baltus stepping up the defense. We're again seeing them play physical, but they haven't been playing, or at least it hasn't felt like as physical as it normally is from the Tigers. I don't know if that's just they've toned it down or they just haven't been able to lay those devastating hits yet that we come to know from them.
I just think they're just trying to focus on not giving up more goals. They've just, again, Georgia's doing a really good job of just suffocating them, not allowing them out of their own zone without possession.
Well, Clemson will get that turnover down there in the neutral zone, now bringing it forward on the attack. Piechnik with the shot and blocked away by a defender. Now another scramble down there for it in the corner. Georgia's going to get possession, but it's going to get sent right back. Stapleton with the shot directly into a Georgia defender, and now Georgia on the attack themselves. Ooh, and a hit into the boards. And that's 91 down there, just not letting go of Piechnik's hand. The pass, the shot does not connect. Once again, pass back to the blue line across to the other end. And that's going to get sent down to the boards. Georgia trying to move the puck around. That's going to get dished away. Stapleton tries to clear it out. No dice, right to a Georgia player. And that's going to get spilled away. The Tigers now with possession. Moving the puck forward, and they're just going to send it away and clear it to get some fresh legs on the ice. A line change for the Tigers.
Now Georgia's going to do the same thing.
Yeah, Georgia doing the same thing.
Pucks in deep just to get fresh legs out there. So
Clemson will go back on the attack here. Baltus bringing it forward. And offsides called on the Tigers. I thought it looked like there might have been an offsides there, so I was correct in my assumption. 7:51 left here in this first period of play, and I'm almost certainly going to announcers jinx somebody by saying this. So strap in, folks. But I want to point out we have made it 12 minutes in this period. No penalties.
No penalties. Well,
which might be a record for us.
Yeah, that's definitely a record, but the thing with penalties is we give up penalties and then we kind of give them a gift with a power play goal. We're already down 2, so now we really can't afford to be stupid with our penalties.
Well, the Tigers had a little bit of a 3-on-2 there, but the numbers advantage come back. The shot from Dutt blocked away by Barber. The pass away doesn't connect. Evans will just send it forward. Dutt trying to reclaim possession and send it back to somebody. Knocked away by Georgia, right back to Dutt. Dutt moving the puck around, trying to find an open man. Carroll scooting away, trying to get that puck, but Georgia will scoop it back up. That pass off the boards and away. The Tigers will have to reset. But they had some movement there, trying to get something going. Georgia not letting them get anything going on defense. And we'll have it whistled dead. So we'll reset, and get a face-off here. 7:03 left in this first period of play. Once again, the Ice Dogs leading 2-0 over the Tigers to this point in the action. The Tigers moving it back a little closer in the shot column. 9-8 still in favor of the Dogs. Tigers just trying to get anything, something going here. We're about ready for this face-off once again. And there's the drop. The Dogs will win it. Pass across the line. Long shot blocked away by Badger.
Clemson just, they're not playing their game. I think they're thinking too much. Dutt was behind the net and had a wide open goal, and
Isaiah Jackson on the opportunity.
Offside.
It would have been
offside.
offsides.
He had to get away from the puck. Again,
that's a tough break for the
Dutt
Tigers.
had a wide open pass or a wide open goal, and he was behind the net. All he had to do was just
opportunity. Georgia could not capitalize. They had an open corner
to the goal crease and potentially get a chip in, but he was trying to look for an open pass. So they just need to get back to playing the way they're used to playing and not think too much.
And that puck's going to go up and over, so we'll have a reset here at the Pavilion. Taylor, South Carolina, the coolest place in town. You're watching Clemson Tigers hockey on Tigervision. 6:19 in the first period remaining. We're set for a face-off here in the neutral zone. And it will be the Ice Dogs claiming possession off of that face-off. That pass into the neutral zone. The Tigers playing stifling defense. Georgia still able to keep control of this puck, however. Oh, a hit into the boards. That's Cheser. Here's the shot. And it looked like it hit. Yeah, it hit a Georgia player. He's on the ground, and that's actually Santa Maria, I believe.
Yeah, he's limping to the ice. He's in pain. That's going to be a big loss for Georgia if he can't get back on the ice.
Oh, excuse me. We didn't see the one. The one, very skinny. That was 91. Carestis. So I'm almost certainly butchering that name. I do apologize. We didn't get pronunciation. But that shot, a very hard slap shot, and Badger is not able to make the save because it goes directly into the Georgia player there in front of the net. And as we saw, he limped off the ice, so hope he's okay. That certainly cannot feel good.
Yeah, 91 for Georgia. He's been all over the ice, so even if it's not their leading scorer, he's still a big loss for this team as far as I've seen.
3-on-2, potentially maybe 4-on-2. The numbers are starting to even back out here for the Tigers. Offensive opportunity is going to get sent back into the neutral zone. But yeah, 91, we've been calling his number a lot here tonight for the Dogs. He's, once again, it's almost like Ingto in the first Coastal Carolina game last week on Friday, where he didn't get on the score sheet, but his presence was definitely felt elsewhere.
Yeah, he's
on
all
the
over
ice.
the ice tonight. So
once again, unquantifiable. And that was a nice save by Badger, the shot from Georgia. But Badger, they tried to go top bins. So Badger just reaches his hand up, scoops it out of midair, and says, "No, sir, you will not."
Yeah, he tried to go high glove side there. So that was a good job of keeping an eye on the puck and snagging it out of the air by Badger.
So Badger playing a good game other than the 2 goals, which I know sounds obvious, but one of them just definitely not his fault. As you mentioned, he got left on an island, and lest we forget the amazing diving save he made earlier that I still don't know how in the world that occurred.
Yep. Again, he takes risk, but a lot of times they work in our favor.
A long slap shot. It's going to miss the mark. It bounces off of the boards into the back of the back outside of the net there. That shot, off of the post, so no dice there for the Dogs, and now they get some fresh legs on the ice as the Tigers were on the attack, but they inched offside, more than inch, they feed it offsides and had to call it away. Roof counter now. Thank you, Matt, for pointing it out. The roof counter now up to 1, our first roof hit of the night with 4:43 left in the first period. So it took us a while to get to the first one. A high standard to live up to as the second Coastal Carolina game from last week.
Breaking the over-under of 5. Yeah.
We have to set a new one, Matt, because again, as you mentioned,
because we didn't get to post the Coast Carolina. So
doesn't matter. The new record is still 6. It's still 6. New record is 6 in that game.
Right. Over-under 6.
Well, fine. We'll keep the over-under at 5, but the record is still officially 6.
All right.
So we'll have a stoppage here, and everybody's going to reset. Another face-off coming. Just over 4.5 minutes left in this first period of action. And once again, Georgia has been edging out in front in the shot column. 12-8 now in favor of the Dogs as the Tigers here had an attack going. Georgia stopped it in the neutral zone, but the Tigers now back on the attack. And Georgia continuing to clear it away and forcing the Tigers to have to come back and reset their attack. That pass goes awry, not able to connect with the target. a race for it down there. The Tigers playing physical. An opportunity. Oh, that pass does not connect for the Tigers. Long shot. Bounces off of some sticks. They could have gotten the cheese bounce in goal, but no dice there. The Tigers unable to capitalize. Once again, a shot goes well wide. And Georgia just trying to claim possession and maybe at least clear it as they try to get it out of there, and they will send it into the neutral zone, forcing a clearance. The Tigers just send it away and reset with some fresh legs.
I like what I'm seeing from this Clemson team the past minute and a half. Creating chances, actually communicating, and let's see if they can capitalize on some of these chances they've been creating.
Yeah, as Georgia did just the exact same thing Clemson did, sending it away and getting some fresh legs. And now the Tigers here on the attack. Stapleton bouncing it off of the Georgia defender back to himself. An interesting pass back to himself as Stapleton's laid out into the boards. An amazing hit there. So Georgia, they must have heard or remembered about the physicality of Clemson's defense, laying out some physicality themselves.
Yeah, that was a huge hit, but it worked in their favor because Frankie Stapleton obviously had to get rid of the puck to make sure for his own safety.
Yes.
I'm trying to put my words together.
Oh, and another Clemson player sent into the boards. Stapleton again.
Yeah,
Stapleton is taking a beating. He's still not up. He's still on the ground. And yes, we've got a stoppage now, I believe, for Stapleton as he's struggling to get back to his feet after that second hard hit. Both hits that Stapleton took in that span of, what would you say, maybe only about a minute or so. Both ends of the ice. Not even.
He's struggling, and he's a big part of this Clemson team. Physical on the forecheck, and he loves to create opportunities off the board. So this is could potentially be a huge loss for this Clemson team.
Yes, as we mentioned at the beginning of the program, Pieknik, our huge enforcer that we've come to know and love for the Tigers, but Stapleton really stepping up big time this past weekend against Coastal himself in that regard. And that shot's going to go well wide, but a huge potential loss for the Tigers. Again, hopefully he's okay. So both teams going down a key contributor, at least temporarily in this game. We'll see how that affects things moving forward. Both of them on defense. A long shot and a second roof counter. That shot from long distance pops up off of a Tiger defender and straight into the roof.
It looked like it didn't even hit a Tiger defender. It looks like that defenseman just got his 9-iron out and said, let's chip it up into the roof. Try to get it on the green here. So if he were playing golf, that would have been a beautiful shot, let me tell you.
If we were playing golf, indeed. But alas, Matt, we are not. We are playing some good old-fashioned ice hockey here at the Pavilion, the coolest place in town here in Taylor, South Carolina. The Tigers trying to move this puck forward out of their defensive zone. Dutt trying to pass it over to Clark, but no dice as the Georgia defense will stop that in its tracks. Georgia once again playing stifling defense here, getting the puck possession back. And the Tigers now trying to play some stifling defense of their own. And seemingly succeeding in two players, one for each team, falling to the ground. And a hard hit there by Ferrone into the Santa Maria. So some extracurriculars here. Physicality, Matt, coming up big time for these teams.
Yeah,
and
that's
first.
That's such a stupid penalty because Georgia gets called for tripping, and then we get called for something after the whistle.
Probably roughing, I would assume.
Roughing or boarding after the whistle. I mean, what a stupid penalty. We give away a chance at a power play. You got to stay composed there. Especially being down 2 goals in this game.
Well, we'll wait for the confirmation from Gabby down there in the box. But, yeah, that's huge loss. Number 9, Santa Maria for the Dogs. Huge contributor for them, as we mentioned pre-show, that he's their points leader, their goal leader, their assist leader. He's leading in all of those categories.
Yeah, this would have been huge if we had a power play without him on the ice, but just undisciplined. Well,
so it was slashing for Santa Maria, and for Ferrone, it was a cross-check.
Okay, well, we got a high stick on Nick Baltus, one of our best defensemen, so now it's going to be 4-on-3 for Georgia. Power play for the rest of this period for Georgia. this is not good for this Clemson team.
No.
Again, this is something we talked about. We have to stay disciplined, especially against a really good Georgia team like this. Being down 2-0, we cannot afford to give dumb penalties.
Right, and dumb penalties, as you mentioned, that's something that has plagued the Tigers all season long. As you mentioned, the discipline. We've mentioned that on these broadcasts a lot from Coach Loughran, from Isaiah Jackson, the captain and team president, wanting to get the discipline levels better. And the Tigers, every time it seems like there's some improvement, they fall backwards. And the ice, this tight ice, is looking a lot more open now because there's 3 less players on it.
This is definitely going to benefit Georgia, 1. And 2, it's a catch-22 of this physical style of play they bring. They just have to stay composed after the whistle. Ryan Ferrone cannot take that penalty.
Yeah, long shot there, save, knocked away by Badger. Almost 45 seconds left here in this first period of action. Georgia moving the puck around. Passing it back and forth. Georgia trying to line something up. Another pass, fake shot, pass again. That time it's shot. Looks like it deflects away. 30 seconds now left.
We can't get this puck out of our zone to save our lives.
No, the Tigers trying very hard. A block shot there by the Tigers. Another long shot, and it's going to go off of Badger, up and over the boards into the back net there. The wrong net for Georgia, the right net for the Tigers. 18.3 left in the time here of this first period. 29 seconds left on the initial offsetting penalties, and then 47 seconds left on the power play. So Georgia, they're continuing to increase their shot lead, 15-9 as of right now, but with more power play to come, who knows what it's going to do, but it's going to get sent away, and actually an opportunity potentially. Cheser trying to get something going is just going to knock it right into Barber. She's going to scoop it up. Say thank you very much. 6.8 seconds left in this first period, so some sloppy, maybe carelessness there from UGA as they just turn that puck right over to Cheser, and he almost shorthandedly even draws a goal closer.
That would have been huge.
A long shot, no connection, and the time is just going to run away. And at the buzzer, right into Badger's glove.
Well, we see number 91. He was the one who put that shot on net, so good to see him back on the ice for Georgia. You never want to see a player get hurt, but let's see if how Frankie Stapleton's feeling. We saw him. I mean, he's skating off the ice pretty well, but we saw him in some serious pain going to the bench. So
two very, very hard hits at each end of the ice. The first one down there in the corner near the UGA net, a hard hit into the boards down there. That one was pretty hard, but the worst of the two, the last of the two, down here on the Clemson end of things. And that one, the much tougher, much harder hit into the boards. Stapleton, very slow to get up, forcing a stoppage in the play, actually. We've yet to see him come back. Hopefully he's all right, but the Tigers also on the ground right now as well, collectively, not only losing the shot battle as they so often do, 15-10, but losing where it matters most, 2-0 in the score column after what felt like could be more. We saw great saves, great performances on the defense. Aiden Evans comes up big at one point, helping close off an open part of the net. Jake Badger comes up huge, as he so often does, lays himself out. Don't know still how he made that exceptional save, but the Tigers still falling behind early in this game and having to climb out of a hole. Yeah,
this should probably be 5-0 Georgia, honestly. You hate to see it. We're not playing the way we did against Coastal. This is honestly, it seems like the narrative we've seen all season from the Clemson Tigers. We're in our zone. We were in our zone probably 10 out of the 20 minutes of this period. You can't win a hockey game like that, playing defensive and just constantly just trying to put the puck in deep so you can get a line change. Your guys are so tired because they've been in their zone all night, essentially, the first period. So you need to see the Tigers start communicating better. You need to see them actually create chances in the offensive zone and get pucks on net, because that's the reason they're up 2-0 is one was a beautiful pass. The dude was wide open. Badger was on an island. And then the second one was pucks on net, scramble. Badger can't find the puck. Georgia has an eye on it. So pucks on net is how you get pucks in net, and we just haven't done that this period.
Yeah, pucks on net, your mantra all season long, and Georgia's been doing that better tonight.
Yep.
And as you mentioned, one of the main reasons why they are leading when we come back, we'll have power play still, and that's another thing too where the Tigers are behind.
They're
behind. Yeah, they're behind men on the ice as well. It's currently 4-3 in favor of Georgia in that regard. 10 seconds left of the offsetting penalties, and then it'll be about 18 seconds after that
of 5-on-4
power play, regular power play. So not much time, but still a lot of time for Georgia to capitalize. So we'll have to see if they can do that, but we'll be back shortly with the second period of action here at the Pavilion in Taylor, South Carolina, the coolest place in town. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this broadcast of Clemson Tigers hockey on Tigervision. We are still here at the Pavilion, Taylor, South Carolina, the coolest place in town. This game turning out to be so great for the Bulldogs, not so great for the Tigers so far. As we've mentioned, a 2-0 start, a 2-0 lead early for the Ice Dogs in this game, and they do have a man advantage, a 4-3 penalty at the moment. 10 seconds left of that, then it'll go to a normal 5-on-4 penalty for another 18 seconds. So Georgia is still an opportunity here to add on to their lead at the beginning of this period, and as you mentioned before the break, feels like a must-kill for the Tigers.
Yeah, this feels a lot like the Georgia Tech game, as we pointed out. If Clemson plays the same way they've been playing, this is going to turn ugly. They need to figure out where the team is that played the first 50 minutes of the Coastal game and get them on the ice. So, again, like you said, yes, this feels like a must-kill. A 3-hole lead takes all the air out of Clemson hockey and just gives it right back to Georgia. So
yeah, and their opening face-off won by the Dogs, moving this puck around, trying to take advantage of this power play opportunity. And we are now 5-on-4 here. Shot. And, an opportunity on a putback potentially, and no dice.
That was a juicy rebound, wide open net. They should have been able to put that in the back of the net.
And just as we're talking about a must-kill, there it is, the kill. So 2-0 lead, and 30 seconds now into this period. We're back to even strength, and the Tigers successfully killed the power play. More shots, and net dislodged. That appeared to be Piegnik, who just slides right into it. So Piegnik, can we count that as a goal?
No, because that might have been the best thing he could have done. Badger giving up a juicy rebound. Georgia player right there. Goal gets dislodged. They have to blow the whistle. So
right.
I don't think he did it intentionally, but I think that's probably the best thing that could have happened right there.
Unintentionally beneficial.
Yes,
and
very much so.
I want to go back earlier. You're talking about a 3-goal lead being pretty much insurmountable in most circumstances, and we talk about what it is now, a 2-goal lead. As we've mentioned numerous times on the hockey show and here on our broadcast of these games, 2-goal lead is one of the most, if not the most dangerous in hockey. So the Tigers do have that going for them, as long as they can keep the Ice Dogs off the board.
It is the most dangerous lead in hockey because a team can get too complacent with the fact that they're up 2, but it doesn't seem like this Georgia team's doing that anytime soon. So
no, but
it looks like Clemson's going to have to make their own luck here.
Yeah, and for the Tigers, that's okay. You now have the possession of the puck here. You're moving it forward on the attack. This is Dutt. The shot knocks away a Georgia stick, even though it does miss the mark. Dutt still with possession, trying to get it away, and it will be the Georgia defense who will get it away from him instead. Puck bouncing around. The Tigers try to reclaim possession. Georgia on the attack. It's going to go off of Badger. A save there off of the shot.
Yeah, that was a good pad save. He tried to go low glove side, but as you like to say, no dice.
No dice indeed for the Ice Dogs there. Almost 2 minutes into this period. They still maintain a 2-0 lead. Georgia on the attack here, sending it down, and it's going to be picked up by Halsey as he sends it forward. Cheser racing to claim possession, but he will not win said race. Pass across the ice, well executed, looking like Trevor Lawrence out there, or maybe even Jake Fromm, excuse me, because this is Georgia after all.
It is Georgia, yes.
Players sliding all over the neutral zone there after a collision. Physicality still strong and evident here in this second period. Georgia still on the attack as well, moving it around. Clemson trying to play stifling defense. They will knock the puck away, but it'll go right back to a Georgia player. He sends it away. Still Georgia in possession. And now it's Clemson with the puck. That's Halsey moving it forward. A long shot from the neutral zone and just going to be knocked down by Barber. Another shot here, well off of the mark, super high into the net, the wrong net for the Tigers. The net back behind the board. So a stoppage in play here. The teams will switch out some players, get some fresh legs on the ice, and we will reset and have another face-off.
So I think Barber might have just showed her first hand there. Not that hard of a shot, just kind of a dump in, and she's unable to grab it in her glove. So that might be a sign for the Tigers just to, again...
Oh my gosh, and we usually...
That was a beautiful toe drag there.
In sports, we use the term putting a guy on skates, and here you're always on skates, so you say taking the skates off of him, I suppose?
Wow, maybe.
I don't know. Pieknik getting just crossed up and sent to the ground. Barber knocking the save away. The Tigers still trying to reclaim possession of this puck, stifling defense. Pieknik moving it forward, but nobody there to connect with. Georgia picks up possession of the puck. Pieknik, though, picking up the loose pass, but he's not going to be able to connect with anybody, so Georgia picks up the loose puck again. However, knocked away by the Tigers there. Georgia picking up back behind Barber, sending it forward to Santa Maria, and he's not going to connect. So this is going to skate all the way back down, back behind Badger in that net, and now the Tigers will push this puck forward, trying to get something going on the attack. And good to see Stapleton. He had his stick on the puck. Stapleton back out there on the ice. Yep. He's looking fine. You mentioned he skated off well at the end of the first period. So after those two devastating hits in the last period near the end there, Stapleton back on the ice and looking fine. So good to see that he and Karestes for Georgia are both okay after their injuries. And tried for the backhand there, the Tigers did, but no dice. Players falling all over the place. Everybody trying to get something going.
2-on-1 here for Georgia.
He's going to take it himself and fails twice in the same sequence to get the puck in the net. The Clemson defense coming up big. The Tigers once again blocking a shot. Badger laying back down onto his back, covering the puck, making the save, and Badger once again throwing his body all over the place willy-nilly. He's a movable brick wall.
Yeah, that should have been a goal for Georgia, just straight up. But again, Badger finding somehow, some way to find the puck and freeze it. So as I was pointing out back a couple minutes ago, Barber, her glove's not as strong, so maybe a thing for the Tigers is they could just, again, put pucks on net. She might not be able to freeze the pucks as easily. And if you crowd her, you're going to create chaos in the zone and in her goal crease, and you're going to be able to put pucks in the back of the net. We've seen it with Coastal.
That's right.
When Griffin Williams, he played out of his mind, but again, he wasn't as great when there was chaos in his goal crease. So I think that's going to be one of the keys that the Tigers need to focus on.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that goalies do not like is chaos right in front of them. I think every goalie would rather things be calm in front of them.
Yes, they would rather have easy lanes where they can just snag the puck and freeze it.
But the Tigers will pick it up back behind Badger, back behind their own net, trying to move it forward. But Georgia Tech playing very strong, close, stifling defense. Isaiah Jackson tried to connect on the pass there, tried to get it over to, I'm trying to see, I think that was Cheser, but unable to connect on the shot, and it's just going to be easily stopped and covered by Barber down there. So 14:44 left here in this second period of action. The Ice Dogs continue to lead 2-0 over the Tigers, and they continue to lead in the shot column as well, 18-14. But the difference, even though the Tigers are still behind, the difference in the shots, and Stapleton taking another hit down there, nowhere near as harsh as the other ones. But and speaking of harsh hits, there was Halsey, I believe, laid out. I believe that was Halsey or Ralston.
Yep.
No, excuse me, Ralston. The numbers 8 and 9 look very similar from distance. Santa Maria with a goal. Santa Maria. As Matt Vesgersen would say on a home run, Santa Maria indeed. And the Ice Dogs will extend their lead to 3-0 here in this second period of action. And Santa Maria, the man we've known as the biggest player, the biggest point scorer for this Georgia team, adds another one to his total.
Something you cannot do is leave the leading scorer of this Georgia team by himself in the faceoff circle. He is going to probably score 9 out of 10 times, and he has a beautiful shot, as we probably assumed with him leading the team in points. That was a absolute breakdown of defense for the Clemson Tigers. They just have to get better at positioning. The 2 out of the 3 goals was them just not being in their positions on defense.
And we've got the confirmation on the assist. As we mentioned, the goal coming from Caleb Santamaria. The assist coming from number 29, Jacob Solaski there. So Georgia back on the attack here, looking to extend their already extended lead. That long shot is going to be scooped up, eaten alive by Jake Badger down there. So the damage done now. 3-0 lead extended for the Ice Dogs, and now the Tigers find themselves in a deeper and deeper hole that just feels like it's continuing to grow here in this second period, as they really need to get something, anything, to shift the momentum back in their favor. Yeah,
for the first 27 minutes of this game, it's just felt like absolute domination on Georgia's part. Clemson hasn't really had a chance at anything. They haven't had a good chance, so they need to, again, like I said before this period, find a way to get the team that played the first 50 minutes against Coastal. They need to find that team and put them on the ice.
And Georgia trying to create something, moving it back behind the Clemson net, but that pass will go awry. The Tigers will pick up the loose puck, and now the Tigers trying to move it forward, but Georgia, we see full court presses in basketball. They're playing full ice press here, it seems. Stifling defense. This Georgia team doing a very good job of preventing the Tigers from getting opportunities and from moving the puck forward.
Yeah, the Georgia forecheck is unbelievable right now. Clemson, again, just absolutely stalling right at their own blue line. They can't even get it out of their zone. They can't get possession into their offensive zone. So that's got to change if they want to have any shot to have a comeback.
And a long shot from deep in the neutral zone. Barber knocks it away, and now everybody's scrambling to gain possession of the puck. Halsey's going to send it forward. I wasn't sure if that was meant to be a shot or a pass. Either way, it just scoots all the way past the net. Nobody connecting on anything there. A long shot. Opportunities by the Tigers. Barber stands her ground and says, "No, sir, not today." And now Georgia with possession of the puck. They're trying to clear it out and get something going, but Halsey looking like he's trying to get it for the Tigers. And now Isaiah Jackson moving over and claiming possession of the puck. He's going to send it over back to Halsey. That shot/pass is going to go off of Clark's stick. And this puck is going to get knocked away through the neutral zone, back down into the Tigers' defensive zone. The teams will get some new legs out there on the ice, fresh legs. Stapleton racing for this puck. He's going to get there, but so do a couple of Dogs. Fighting ensuing for the puck, and it'll be the Dogs who claim possession, and it's going to get knocked away. The Tigers will cut it off, and Badger will cover it up down there. So 11 and a half minutes exactly left in this second period of play. Georgia still leading 3-0, but the Tigers on the attack down there had something going, trying to build some momentum, and we'll see if they can continue to try to build off of that.
Yeah, again, I think they're thinking too much. Just try to put pucks on net. They're trying to pass and create opportunities that aren't there. They just need to play the way they usually play and put pucks on net, try to create rebounds, try to create scrambles. That's how they've been successful this season. So, again, I think they're thinking too much and just need to get back to the way they usually play, because we've seen this team when they're really successful.
And now we've got the Tigers trying to move this puck forward. That was Schreiber passing it over to Butterfield. Butterfield with the shot. It's going to get deflected away. So first time we've called either of those names tonight, and that puck is going to go up and into the netting over here in the above the board. So we'll have another stoppage. More Tigers coming out to the ice, switching off. Fresh legs. We'll reset and have a face-off. Just over 11 minutes left here in this second period of play. Once again, we're here at the Pavilion, Taylor, South Carolina, the coolest place in town, and you're watching Clemson Tigers hockey on Tigervision. The Tigers will win this face-off and trying to get the shot on, but it's going to get knocked up and away. Once again, the puck scrambling around back there behind the Georgia net. The Tigers with possession, the long pass, and it's going to get knocked away. So the Tigers forced to reset if they can maintain possession. And they will, in fact, not maintain possession of that puck. Georgia now picking it up behind their own net and trying to move it forward. Into the neutral zone now, into the attacking zone. It's going to get waffle-boarded out behind the net into one corner to the other. Georgia pressed up against the wall there. And the Tigers will reclaim possession of this puck, pulling it back from behind their own net. Georgia continuing to play some stifling defense. As you mentioned, Matt, the Georgia forecheck been very tough for the Tigers to crack all night long, and the defense in general tough to crack as they once again steal the puck. Opportunity here for the Ice Dogs. The pass does not connect. Georgia very well could have extended their lead there.
One of the bright spots for this team so far has been Aiden Evans. He's been physical when they needed him to be. He's been lifting sticks when they need him there. And,
a shot.
He's laid his body on the line when they need him to. So he's definitely been my player of the game for Clemson so far.
The Tigers now moving it forward. Halsey's just going to send it over there to Barber, and she's going to chest it away. And now this puck scooting back over into the Tigers defensive zone. Baltus picks it up, brings it back behind Badger, trying to set something up. Tigers reset, and on the attack once again as Georgia changes their lines and gets new legs on the ice. And Barber's just going to cover that errant puck up. We'll have a stoppage and another face-off. So the Tigers still down on the shots, but once again, they're still not that far behind. Only 6 shots behind, 22-18, which 6 shots is kind of a lot, but for this Tigers team, that's excellent.
Yeah,
compared to other performances.
Yes, they're usually doubled in shots. So I think a couple of their players, before the face-off, a couple of the Clemson players are just shaking their heads. They need to get out of this and pretend it's a 0-0 game and just get back to the way they're used to playing. So you can't. And here's a penalty.
And I was just about to say,
Clemson.
A very hard hit there for the Tigers. The physicality of this team apparent there, but as you mentioned, a penalty, and that's Nick Baltus, who's going to be going into the box. We'll wait on the confirmation.
It's Nick Baltus hit from behind is what the ref showed the box there. So, again, we have to stay out of the penalty box if we have any shot of getting back in this game. This is another must kill. Going down 4-0 seems like a hole we can't get out of.
So the Tigers backs against the wall, finding themselves behind the 8-ball once again. A huge opportunity for the Dogs to potentially extend their lead here. 2 minutes of power play man advantage. And they're moving this puck around, just trying to create something. They know they've still got a long time left to get something going. No need to force anything. A shot in, and to another shot off of the save. Both of them not going into the back of the net. Georgia still on the attack. The pass off, pass back. Santa Maria now with the shot blocked away. Santa Maria knocking a Tiger to the ground. That looked to be Butterfield. Once again, Georgia moving this puck around, trying to create something. A shot deflected once again. Georgia's setting something up. Another pass. Fakes the shot, pass to Santa Maria. Another deflection by a Tiger defender. Georgia once again trying to set something up. The Tigers have killed off the first half. Another minute left to go in this power play for the Dogs. A long shot once again knocked away. 23 there trying to connect off of the deflection. No dice. Georgia still with possession. The Tigers have been unable to clear this. A potential clearance attempt there does not work. And now the Tigers will just send this away into the neutral zone. A couple of fresh legs back out on the ice for the Tigers, but a even more advantage now here as the numbers will somewhat even out. Still a man advantage, but everybody is where they should be. That shot goes away. Almost 10 seconds left here. The Tigers have done an excellent job of keeping this puck out of the net, but an opportunity blocked away by Badger, and he's just going to jump on top of it. 8 seconds left, so almost the full time cleared away. Just 8 more seconds separates the Tigers from a successful penalty kill.
No comment. I don't think successful is the word for it. Yeah, they have kept the puck in the back of the net, but Georgia has had the puck in their offensive zone this entire power play. We need to get it out of the zone and start making stuff happen, Wyatt.
Well, a successful penalty kill sometimes is all it takes to start some momentum.
So, again, Baltus is one of the key guys to. He's kind of like one of the quarterbacks of that defense. So,
and he's back out of the box. So the Tigers back to even strength. Now just trying to get this puck out of the zone. And it will get knocked away into the neutral zone, sent forward for the potential offsides, but Georgia will fall back into giving the Tigers an opportunity to move forward on offense. That pass will go awry, however, and now Georgia with the potential to reclaim the puck. Bouncing around, nobody able to gain possession. Georgia will now, moving it forward, they'll send it over, a race for it, and it's going to be 91 Karetsis who wins the puck. The pass by Georgia stolen by the Tigers.
If they play this smart, they got a 3-on-2.
3-on-2. Jackson to Cheser. Shot goes wide. Another shot knocked away. Perfect opportunity there for the Tigers, but could not capitalize. Not able to get the puck into the open part of the net. Halsey passing this away, and we've got a stoppage. The Tigers had an amazing opportunity there, unable to capitalize, Matt.
Yeah, Cheser had kind of a semi-breakaway. He did a backhand to front hand. He did a really good move. I think he beat the goaltender. He just shot it wide. So tough break for
opening there and just wasn't able to connect.
Yep. It looks like it's going to be offsetting penalties here.
Uh-oh.
So I don't know if it's offsetting coincidental. So I don't think it's going to be 4-on-4. I think they're just going to send 2 guys for the box pipe. I think they were jawing each other on the back end of this ice here. So
yeah, and it looks like it is going to be 4-on-4. I'm only counting 4 white jerseys and 4 red jerseys. And that's 23, Liam Clark for the Tigers, and number 13, Cameron Campbell for the Dogs in the box. So both of them will be spending 2 minutes down there in timeout, and their buddies will be out here playing hockey and having fun without them.
This seems like an advantage for Georgia just because they're used to playing on bigger ice. So Clemson needs to take advantage of the space they have and start creating opportunities.
Interesting note from Gabby here. The ref literally shrugged his shoulders like there was nothing to have him in the box for. Told the girls to write down what she wanted. So
I have never heard of that in my entire life.
That is an interesting note from Gabby about the situation. The Tigers had an opportunity. Goal! And the Tigers drawing a step closer.
Joe Halsey looking like Evgeny Malkin out there. Deacon, all 4 people on the ice, going backhand, going top shelf.
Was coming straight for the castle. He says he doesn't need anyone else. The Tigers can't come back without me, and puts the puck in the net.
That was absolutely beautiful. That sparked me. Let's see if it sparks this team. What a goal. What a play. That was an absolute dangle-licious goal.
And the assist on this goal coming from number 22, Thomas Carroll. Halsey getting another goal on the season. And the Tigers now starting a potential comeback. They found themselves down 3, 4-on-4 action, and Halsey is able to get a lost goal back for the Tigers.
Again, like I said, I think they did a good job of doing what they needed to do, is take advantage of the extra space on the ice and create opportunities. So I said it might be an advantage for Georgia, but so far Clemson's been the better team 4-on-4. A
shot knocked away. Badger able to keep the putback from going in. The rebound.
Absolute game 2 Holtby stick save right there.
And Schreiber, an excellent move on the defense. Another goal for the Tigers!
Where's this team been?
I don't know, but apparently they play better with 4-on-4 than they do 5-on-5.
What a move by Schreiber, just beating the last defenseman, going
goodness,
front hand, backhand, going to the wide open net. Wow.
An amazing sequence from one into the other, where Georgia sends a shot on Badger, knocks it away. They have an open half of the net. Badger somehow able to dive away, get his stick back over there to knock the puck away. The Tigers bring it down, and immediately Alex Schreiber just juking out Emily Barber down there, tripping her up and just getting the puck in the net. The lead now in less than 2 minutes has been cut by 2. Georgia only 3-2 up on the Tigers. Once again, that goal coming from Alex Schreiber. The assist coming from Aiden Evans and Jimmy Pieknik. A shot knocked away. Save from Jake Badger.
Schreiber doing a really good job of using the space he had on that breakaway, just beating the last defender, doing his own thing, doing moves and making moves and putting the puck in the back of the net. That's what I like to see. We play so much better when we're creative. So this suddenly feels like this is a lead we can come back from.
Yeah. We talked about 3-0 being almost insurmountable, but the Tigers looking like they might be able to climb that mountain.
Can we play more 4-on-4 hockey, please?
Yeah, let's send the note down there. They just need to designate somebody to go into the box, I suppose, for each team. As Badger's going to cover this up, we'll get another stoppage of face-off. As both of the men in the box have come back out on the ice, we're back to normal 5-on-5 action here. But in those short 2 minutes of 4-on-4, the Tigers scored 2 goals, and they've cut a 3-0 deficit to 3-2. And all of a sudden, we've talked about the Tigers just needing to spark some momentum somehow, some way. It seems offsetting 4-on-4 penalties is all it took. And now the Tigers are right back in the thick of this. And with 3.5 minutes left in the second period, it feels like they can really complete this comeback.
Yeah, this is the team that I was talking about, the team that they needed to find in themselves against Coastal. They've absolutely been dominating this game for the past 5 minutes. So Clemson doing a really good job of just creating opportunities.
And now Isaiah Jackson with this puck. Tries to connect on the pass. Does not. Back down to the blue line. Good job by Evans to keep it in. Will not be a reset for the Tigers. That looked like a shot, I guess. A hard hit there.
Number 3's in pain. They need to create an opportunity off this. Number 3 is going to go to the bench. They got a potential 5-on-4 here until they can get someone back out on the ice.
And they will make the switch. Halsey with the shot. Barber is going to eat that one up. She'll make the save there.
Clemson needs to keep all the momentum they have right now and try to tie this game going to the intermission. They can tie this game. This is a whole different scenario we're talking. 3-0 and 3-3 is a completely different ball game, Mr. Captain Obvious would say.
Yeah, and we're looking at now a tale of 2 periods. The first period being all Georgia. The second period not quite all Tigers, but the Tigers have done enough. They've kept the Georgia Bulldogs off of the board, put up 2 themselves, and they've gotten right back into the thick of this game. Anything is possible in hockey, Matt, and it seems like for the Tigers, anything could be possible right now.
Yeah, this has been 35 minutes all Georgia, and then whatever's left of this period, Clemson. So Clemson doing a really good job of just staying focused. Again, probably mentality is just keep having fun even though we're down, pretend this is 0-0 and see what we can do.
So Thomas Carroll moving this puck forward, tries to get the puck in, and Barber will make the save. Good save down there by Emily Barber.
You see that move Thomas Carroll was putting on. Again, I like this Tigers team when they're creative. They have more fun that way, and they seem to play looser and they play better. So. And
now that they've started to build this momentum, they do seem to be a little looser out there on the ice. They seem to be moving a little quicker, a little easier. There's a little bit more of a flow in their game, it seems. As Georgia now on the attack for themselves, however, shot save by Jake Badger. Georgia still with puck in the corner, but the Tigers playing some physical defense and getting the puck knocked away. It will get sent back over 2. I believe that was, no, that was not Santa Maria. That's an upside down 9. We call that a 6 in the business, Matt. Oh, and Schreiber falling to the ground. Georgia still with the puck. A shot goes over the net. More shot, more deflection. That was Piechnik, it seems, that it went off of. And now Piechnik moving this puck forward. Him and Stapleton, the defenders, playing some offense here. They are controlling this puck, trying to find something going. And that puck will get knocked away by Georgia on defense. And Georgia making some nice moves to keep the puck. A shot directly into the belly there of Jake Badger. He'll say thank you very much, cover it up, and we'll stop and face off here in a moment. So, just under a minute left, 54.7 seconds left here in this second period of action. Almost 40 full minutes completed of hockey here at the Pavilion, Taylor, South Carolina, the coolest place in town, where Georgia holds a 3-2 lead. And Badger will cover this up immediately after that face-off, so we'll reset and do it immediately again. So, Matt, the Tigers look to be ending this period with all the momentum. However, 52 seconds, still a lot of time for something crazy to happen.
Yeah, Clemson needs to keep this up going into the third period. If they play the third period like they played the past 5 minutes, this game's going to get really interesting.
Well, here we go. Baltus bringing this forward, sending it over to the side. Thought this might be going to Jackson, but instead it looks like it was going to one of the other players over there. Kind of hard to see the numbers from this far, but Georgia's going to steal it away. Santa Maria on the attack. Ralston trying to play the long defense. He will not connect on this shot. And now the Tigers potentially had the chance to move it forward. Georgia picks it up in the neutral zone. Sent away. Badger will just toss it off to Nick Baltus, who's going to bring it forward. But once again, this tough forecheck by Georgia. Tough to crack. Baltus just moving it forward on his own.
Oh, that could have been disaster.
Barber cheating the one side, and almost a cheese goal for Baltus there, as it just would have scooted on into that open end of the net. Goes wide, however. Shezer trying to hold off this Georgia defense, and the clock will hit 0 here. So, this, an interesting second period of action. We enter this period, a 2-0 advantage for the Ice Dogs. They get an early goal from the main man himself, Santa Maria. Caleb Santa Maria coming up big, showing why he's the points leader, goal leader, assist leader on this team, doing it all down there. Extends the lead to 3-0 just after you say it might be insurmountable. And then the Tigers coming out here trying to prove you wrong.
That's what I want them to do.
Yeah, and they're making a comeback now as the end of this period, this last 5 to 10-ish minutes of this period have been all Clemson, it seems. We get the 4-on-4 penalty opportunity there, and you mentioned it feels like it favors Georgia, and again, they prove you wrong, sir, as the Tigers would go on in those 2 minutes to get 2 goals off of the sticks of Joe Halsey and one of the captains on this team, Alex Schreiber. So, a 3-0 deficit quickly cut to 3-2, and the Tigers carrying a lot of momentum into this third period now.
Yeah, I said that the Tigers were thinking too much, trying to create too many opportunities, looking for passes that aren't there. This is a totally different team the past 7-8 minutes. Yeah, their passes have been great, but they're looser. They're more creative. They're playing their own game. They're playing physical. They're staying in position, not quite leaving Badger on an island like he was the first 30 minutes of this game. But if Badger doesn't make that stick save, it's 4-1 instead of 3-2. So Badger playing lights out as always, and he's probably the reason this isn't 7-2 right now. So.
Yeah, you mentioned Jake Badger. We go back to the first period. We talked about it a lot. That amazing dive save he had going one end of the goal to the other. He makes another similar type of save, this time instead of using the rest of his body, using his stick.
Yeah, it goes off his stick.
And that really was the catalyst that spurred the first goal there by Halsey, because it goes, or no, actually that was the one with Schreiber, because it goes off of a Badger stick there. That was the opportunity Georgia had to kill the Tigers' momentum.
I think Georgia probably thought they put it in the back of the net and froze a little bit. That allowed the counterattack. Because Schreiber, when he shrugged that defender off, he had a breakaway with him and Emily Barber, and he makes a beautiful move because he has enough space and puts the puck in the back of the net. So
really fakes her out very well there. Yep. And to Barber's credit, when it's one-on-one like that, it favors the attacker.
Yep.
There's not much you can do. We saw a lot of that in the Georgia Tech game at Bon Secours for the Tigers, and that's one of the things that really killed Badger in that game. Is it's just there's only so much you could do as a goalie there. But to Schreiber's credit, he does a really good job of faking her out, puts the puck in the back of the net, and cuts the lead in even further. So 3-2 in favor of the Ice Dogs still, but Clemson making a comeback here at the Pavilion, Taylor, South Carolina, the coolest place in town. 40 minutes down, 20 minutes to go, potentially more if the Tigers can get one more.
Don't tell me that.
Matt, you know it's very possible here.
I know. I can't deal with it.
We could get some free hockey again tonight. We will see 20 more minutes officially left to play here of hockey. So we'll be right back momentarily with the third period of action. Hello and welcome back to the Pavilion here in Taylor, South Carolina, the coolest place in town. We've got one more period to go here. This amazing game between the Bulldogs and the Tigers. Matt, an exceptional second period. After the first period, it was complete Georgia domination, 2-0 lead by the Ice Dogs there, and it really felt like the game was on the verge of getting out of hand. The Georgia team gets a early second period goal. It really feels like the game's over. It felt like that could have been an early dagger in favor of the Dogs, but the Tigers late in the period pick up some momentum and ride that wave to getting 2 goals back, 2 goals closer, and now it's 3-2, and the Tigers seem to have all the momentum heading into this third period of play.
I'm hoping this is a reverse of the second Coastal game. Second Coastal game was 35-ish minutes of domination for the Tigers. Then we couldn't capitalize on the power play, and then Coastal just took all the momentum. That's exactly what happened. 35 minutes of Georgia domination. We just didn't look like who we usually play like.
Yeah.
And then they couldn't capitalize on the power play. Like you said, you called it a successful penalty kill, and then 4-on-4, we score 2 goals. So let's hope we can carry this into the second period and finish the 20 minutes. We've seen the Tigers play a really good first 10 minutes of a third period. That's not going to be enough to beat this Georgia team. We're going to need a complete third period.
And I think the key word you said there was finish.
Yes.
The Tigers have had trouble finishing this season. Games that the Tigers seemingly should have won. I think we could say there are plenty of games that the Tigers should have won this season, but they couldn't quite finish those games off. Tonight, this feels like this is a game that the Tigers can win. The big thing is going to be, can they finish? They do not hold a lead, but they're only 1 goal behind. And the way this game has been playing, with the way the Tigers have been playing these last 5-10-ish minutes, it really feels like 1-2 more goals are certainly within very close reach of this team as the puck is dropped. The opening faceoff of this period has occurred, and we are underway. Less than 20 minutes to go here in this game, unless it's still tied, and then we'll have some free hockey here once again. Wouldn't be the first time, might not be the last this season. So Barber's going to lay it off for the Dogs, and they're going to try and move it forward, but Clemson will pick up the loose puck now. However, that loose puck is going to get picked up by the Dogs, and they're moving it forward. An opportunity here. Santa Maria is just sliding around on his knees there on the ice after getting knocked down. We've got a stoppage, and we'll have a face-off.
Yeah, it looks like he got tripped up and offside, so face-off comes back to the neutral zone. We got to start winning some face-offs, start setting up some clean entries into our offensive zone.
Wish we had the face-off numbers. That'd be interesting to look at for this game. This puck's going to get sent down all the way back near Barber at her own end, and George is just going to try and move this forward. The Tigers pick up the interception, however. An attacking opportunity here. Balta scoops up that loose puck. He's going to send it over. Cheser trying to pick it up, bouncing around. Once again, Cheser down there trying to claim possession. The Dogs swarming all over him. Some jawing back and forth, pushing and shoving down there. The physicality in this game apparent. Neither team appears to be satisfied with the other. A shot off of the post that should have been a goal, but it will not be.
Yeah, that shot beat Badger, but it hits the post and just somehow squeaks out. That was a juicy rebound that the post gave Georgia. He had a wide open backside of the net and just couldn't put it in. So lucky break for the Tigers.
Yes, and Barber sprawling out on her belly. The Tigers unable to capitalize there. The post, everybody hates the post unless you're a goalie, in which case the post can sometimes be your best friend. down there, we've got a brick wall who's thanking his post.
Yeah, this post just came up big for us.
So this puck sent all the way back down into the Tigers zone. And they're just going to try and clear it back out. However, Georgia trying to keep it down there in forward attack, picking it up. The Tigers are trying to take it back from behind their own net. Once again, going back behind the net. Trying to push it forward, sent back. Once again, here's Pieknik, the one trying to move it forward now. Sent off of the boards, unable to connect on that pass. Looked like Clark was over there trying to pick it up off of the, Carroll was trying to pick it up off of the bounce off of the wall, but no dice, and it looks like an icing. Yes, it is an icing that was called. So Tigers forced to keep their players out there on the ice. We'll bring it back down in front of Badger for the face-off. And the Tigers try to continue to build on the momentum they accrued at the end of the second period and continue this comeback. Once down 3-0, now only down 3-2 in this game. Badger's just going to cover that one up.
I'm interested to see if Coach Loughran asked the refs about the write whatever you want penalty. Obviously, it worked out in our favor, but I have never heard anything like that in my time watching hockey. And
it was interesting because when Gabby came back up here during the break and I asked her about that, that was Liam Clark for us, and after he said that to the girls running it down there, she said that Clark looked at her and said, see, he doesn't even know what he called.
Exactly. That's unbelievable.
So
2-on-1 here for the Tigers.
Yeah, 2-on-1 opportunity. Butterfield tries to shoot well off of the mark, goes completely wide. Maybe should have passed that one, but hindsight is 20/20, so who knows? This puck's going to get sent all the way down. Badger will stop it, and he was thinking about laying it off right behind his net for a Tiger, but Bulldog was rushing with a full head of steam.
Yeah.
But now the Tigers potentially on the attack here. Butterfield tried to lay it off for Stapleton. Does not connect. Now the Bulldogs getting the puck and moving forward on their own with an attack. Excellent move to get by the defender, but another defender, that was Schreiber, who would knock it away. And now the Tigers seem to have a potential attacking opportunity. The pass goes wide, and they'll just let it roll away. And they will change them out, get some fresh legs on the ice, and reset.
Santa Maria holding his throat or face area. Looks like the refs might have missed a high stick on Clemson because he's in a serious amount of pain skating to the bench, holding his neck area.
And I thought I had heard someone yelling for a high stick, so that would make a lot of sense. Georgia was none too happy about that. But alas, it is what it is, and the Tigers, that's Baltus down there with the puck down by Badger in the net, and he's going to try and move it forward. Georgia, this forecheck has been tough to crack all night long. Once again, very tough, as that puck's going to deflect up and over the boards, up and over the glass. We'll have a stoppage here. 15:52 left in this final period of play, and we'll have a face-off resetting. 35-27, still in favor of the Dogs in the shot column. The Tigers hanging right in there on shots. A welcome sign for the Tigers, especially being down only one goal. Still riding momentum, as it doesn't seem to be a clear momentum shift. But things do seem to be evening out a little bit. So the Tigers, they need to do something. Seems like they need to get something going here to make sure Georgia doesn't reclaim that momentum.
I don't know if the Tigers have had a power play all night. It's either been 4-on-4 or a power play for Georgia. So
that's true.
I think it's tough when you play a really disciplined team like this Georgia team to capitalize on chances because, again, this Clemson power play isn't too shabby, but we just haven't had a chance to see them tonight.
And that puck's going to bounce up into the Clemson bench area. Clark, I think, was the one who's looking to pick it up. Loughran's pointing it out for somebody to pick up. And it looks like they're making the coach bend down to pick it up. Nope, Clark will pick it up and toss it back over to the ref. So good job on Clark there to keep his coach from having the bend down and exert some physical effort over there. Loughran's not playing in this game. He just needs to stand there and do his thing.
Yeah.
So we'll have a face-off. And back to your point on the power plays, this Georgia team has played a very clean game. Physical, but clean.
Yeah.
And that seems to be the difference sometimes, is the Tigers love to play physical. Once again, that one's going to bounce up, and this time over into the Georgia bench, and their coach isn't even going to try. He's just going to let the players handle it themselves.
It seems like every time Georgia has had a penalty, Clemson has either retaliated or it's been a coincidental. So, we had a chance for a power play, but the stupid after the whistle shove cost us one, and then Baltus going to the box a couple seconds later allowed Georgia to score on a power play. So.
Yes, and this puck's loose in the neutral zone. Georgia moving it forward on the attack. A pass, a shot, blocked away. A nice save by Jake Badger. And now the Tigers tried to push it forward through the neutral zone, knocked away, and a Georgia player laid out right there in front of the ref. The ref had his arms up like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah, and nobody knew where the puck was because the ref was standing there. 3 players got knocked down. It was like a car crash down there.
A car crash of bodies indeed. That pass tried to go back to Halsey. He's just going to send it forward into the zone. We will reset here, and it looks like the Tigers will send out a few fresh legs onto the ice. And that pass awry. That's Halsey with it in the neutral zone, passing it off of the boards. Stapleton tried to pick it up back into the neutral zone, and now Georgia with the puck trying to move it forward. Going to get sent over the Badger. He's just going to knock it away over into the corner. Georgia, that pass goes awry, unable to connect. Goes through a couple of legs, actually. Now Clemson trying to move it forward. Georgia knocking it back away, picking it back up. Baltus trying to reclaim possession down there in the corner, knocked away. And now the Tigers will have it. And will that hit the wall, not the roof. Unfortunately, the roof counter is still at 2 here tonight. A quiet second period for the roof. Very borderline to getting it up to 3 right there, but no clink, just a clatter over there as it goes off of the cinder blocks of the wall and not the ting of the roof.
Clink, not clatter.
Yeah, put that on a T-shirt and sell it, folks. The Tigers had an opportunity, but a nice poke check there by the Dogs.
Yeah, they did. That was a good poke check there, forcing the offside. So Clemson, they need to get some clean entries into the zone and start creating chances. Otherwise, they're just going to get, as you like to say, stifled at the blue line.
Yes. So we'll reset. A face-off coming. There's the drop. And Georgia will claim possession of the puck off of that face-off. Knocked off of the walls. The Tigers would pick it up. Once again, bouncing it off of the boards there, and that's Liam Clark taking it away, an attacking opportunity, and saved by Emily Barber. She stands her ground, and no dice there for Liam Clark. Georgia now on the attack, and that's going to go off of another skater on the shot, deflects up and into that net there. Could have been a roof counter, but there is a net in the way. So we get a net preventing a roof counter. Walls and nets conspiring against the roof here.
Yeah, they don't like our roof counter that much, so they're protecting it at all cost.
And the roof counter, unusually quiet here tonight. Usually we're up to at least 3 by this point, but alas, only a 2, but still 13-12 left in this third period of play with the potential for overtime if things go a certain way. So who knows? This roof counter still has time to grow. The Tigers now with the puck trying to move it forward, but once again, Georgia, a very impressive forecheck as the ref has to jump up out of the way of the puck down here. Clemson playing good defense, trying to knock this puck away. And a hard hit into the boards down there. I couldn't quite tell who hit who into the boards, but both players hitting the boards well. And now Clemson off of the shot, trying to move this puck forward, trying to see, this is Ryan Ferrone moving it forward, but Georgia all over him. The pass or a shot, either way, knocked away. And now it's Georgia who has it in the corner, passing it out, trying to get something going. Thomas Carroll to Ferrone, moving it forward, a shot save. Emily Barber once again keeping the puck out of the net. And now Georgia picking the puck up off of the bounce and trying to move it forward. And they'll just send it over into the corner. A race for the puck. And it'll be the Tigers claiming possession, but once again, Georgia pressing very hard, trying to reclaim possession of this puck. The Tigers will bounce it off of the boards. It's bouncing around. Somebody, anybody, trying to gain possession. And it's the Tigers. They'll send it over into the neutral zone away. And Georgia will pick it up. A nice clearance there for the Tigers to help reset things. Badger's going to stop that puck. And now the Tigers are moving it
Everybody
forward.
just screaming off. The Georgia player didn't have any idea that he was offsides until practically everybody in the building screaming off at him.
Yeah, everybody just yelling down there on the bench area. A loud chorus of offs. That's Stapleton down there trying to fight for the puck. Stapleton passing it out, but Georgia will pick it up. Moving it forward now on the attack. And once again, Clemson's defense stopping them. That pass goes awry, however. Georgia long slap shot, and it's going to bounce off of the boards and up into the net behind the boards. So we'll stop, reset, and have a face-off. Once again, you are watching Clemson Tigers hockey here on Tigervision. We're at the Pavilion, Taylor, South Carolina, the coolest place in town. Georgia leads 3-2 in this game, but Clemson having a lot of momentum, trying to do everything they can to complete this comeback after a very fun, very wild second period of play. And we're nearing the halfway point of this third and final period as Georgia is trying to move the puck out from behind their own net. They will get it out from back there, moving it forward in the neutral zone now into their attacking zone. And that pass or shot, either way, tried to go in front of the net from the side, and Badger is going to stop it with his leg and cover it up.
Yeah, that could have been dangerous. It looked like that shot was potentially going to go wide, but Badger's stick hits it, and it could have deflected into his own net. So. And
it looked like if they were able to bring it out away from Badger a little bit more in front of him, they had a man open over here to potentially snag it and send it into an open part of the net. But now we have Clark trying to shoot it, and Barber will just knock it off of her chest and then fall on top of it. So another save there by Emily Barber. The Tigers down 7 shots in the counter, 37-30. So still keeping it a little close, but still only one game this year where they've been able to hold a lead in the shot counter. And as we remember from Saturday night, they lost.
Yep. So, but again, trending in the right direction. Usually we're used to seeing this being like 50-30. So
right.
I will take 37-30 all day, every day.
Yeah, scrambling for the puck down there back behind the Georgia net. No clear possession won by either team. This puck sent away, and once again, still free. No team with clear, concise possession. Everybody's just scrambling around, and now Georgia will eventually, after a long period of fighting, just win possession of this puck. However, that pass is going to go awry on the attack, and now Clemson with an opportunity, picking up possession of it behind the net, but now the pass bounces away, and Georgia with possession. Another pass bouncing away, and now it's back to Clemson. Neither team wants to hold possession of this puck right now. We'll see if Clemson can, as they're trying to move it forward into the neutral zone now. Evans passing it away, and it's just going to get deflected up and over into what would be the Georgia penalty box. So a back and forth sequence there where neither team wanted the puck.
Yeah,
playing hot potato with
Isaiah said enough with that. He poke checks it away, it makes a move, and starts to get this rush going, but he gets poke checked from the neutral zone. The puck finds its way outside the rink. So it looks like these teams are just stalemating at this point. We need to, Tigers need to find a way to break through and create an opportunity.
And that puck is just going to get sent away. It's waffle boarding one corner to the other, and now once again scuffling for the puck. And Georgia will once again pick up possession of the puck, sending it forward into the neutral zone now, into the attacking zone. Georgia passing it back to the blue line. A long shot blocked off of another Georgia player, and he's going to skate to the bench. They're down a man. They'll switch off. So one of the Georgia players taking that shot off of the stick of his teammate, and a pass intercepted by Santa Maria. He's got 2 men plus Tiahrt to beat, and the defense will come up big. Santa Maria had a potential opportunity there. But Georgia still with possession of the puck.
Yeah, that was a big body check by Ferrone, just telling him not today, not in my zone. So good defense there, staying in position, and now they, that was a weird sequence there.
Yeah.
Instead of getting the puck in deep, they just had Stapleton hold possession
good
and
move
say,
there.
yeah, let's get a line change out.
That was a good move by Stapleton with the stick work there. And the Tigers now potentially having something going on offense. That pass not going to connect with Butterfield. Butterfield, though, trying to reclaim possession, and this is going to sent into the neutral zone. The Tigers forced to come back and reset, but still with possession of the puck. That pass tried to connect with Butterfield, but Georgia now on the attack. The shot, goal for the Ice Dogs. So the turnover leads to a UGA goal, and the Tigers' momentum might be gone now. 7:40 left in this third period of action. Georgia excited, elated down there, and I do not blame them. Just when Clemson was right on their heels, they get a little bit of breathing room, doubling up the Tigers now 4-2 on the score.
Badger hanging his head. He wants that one back. He cheated a little to the near post and left the far side a little too open for that shot. So I know he wants that one back, but let's see if the Tigers can change the tide here and get a quick one and try to regain momentum.
Yeah, that goal coming off the stick of number 91, Chris Korestes. We've said his name a lot the first time he's gotten himself onto the score sheet. The assist coming from number 23, Jackson Katz. He had the Dogs' first goal of the night. He now tallies an assist, 2 points for him on the night. So Georgia extending their lead 4-2 now. Just under 7.5 minutes to play here in this third period, and the Tigers running out of time. They got to do something quick and fast to get the momentum back on their side and potentially complete this comeback. They really need a goal fast.
Yeah, they need something. They need to force turnovers. They need to hopefully see if they can force a penalty.
Well, there was a turnover.
Shots on net, so.
And this puck's going to get sent away. Evans will pick it up back there on one side of the net, bring it back around and go around the net. Now moving it forward. The Tigers with an opportunity. A little bit of 3-on-2. The shot knocked away by Barber. The Tigers not passing, electing to just go straight for the goal. And now Georgia trying to keep possession down there, but the Tigers once again reclaiming possession down there in the corner. The pass forward, unable to cleanly connect with Isaiah Jackson. However, he will win the race for the puck. And now Isaiah Jackson fighting to keep possession, knocked away. Georgia now with the puck, sent forward into the neutral zone. Georgia with possession still. The shot goes wide. Georgia still on the attack. Pass back towards the blue line. Long shot. Wide. Oh, no, saved, excuse me, by Jake Badger. Caught it with his glove. Thought for a second it had gone wide. I was waiting for the dink off of the boards. I was wondering where it was, but nope. Badger just scooping it out of midair. It would have gone wide, though, still, I believe. But we'll have a stoppage here. 6:07 left, and it's not quite all or nothing time for the Tigers, but backs against the wall, kind of behind the 8 ball here. You got to feel like it's getting very close to do or die.
Yeah, I expect if they don't get a goal within the next 3.5 minutes, we're going to see Badger head to the bench and try to get an extra man. So,
well, that shot goes wide. An opportunity and a goal. Badger just dropping his stick over his shoulder in frustration, and I do not blame him. An unfortunate sequence for the Tigers as Badger gets pulled away from the net. And it's completely, almost entirely wide open. An easy put in for the Dogs. And a scramble as the Tigers tried to send it away, failed. 5-2 now in favor of the Ice Dogs. And now, Matt, just under 6 minutes left. It's basically do or die time.
Yeah, that seems like it's going to be the dagger for Georgia. Badger beating himself up on that, coming out of the goal crease. He's slamming his stick. I don't blame him. It's just nothing's going right in this third period for Clemson, so.
Yes, that goal, wager a guess, it was number 9, Santa Maria assists from Katz and Selaski, his second assist on the night. Katz, his second assist, a three-point night for Katz. That shot does not connect. Ferrone bringing the puck forward, but it's going to get knocked away down the Barber, who's just going to cover it up. She thought about laying it off for someone. Tigers rushing forward at a heavy pace, so she's just going to cover it up. But Santa Maria, 2 goals for him on the night now, extending his team lead. That would now be with 2 goals. He now has, let me confirm the number here, 13 goals on the season now for him. So he's continuing his strong showing this season. Yeah, he's clearly, him and number 91 are the best players on this team. They've showed it tonight on the ice and on the score sheet. So I expect Clemson now, being down 3, Caresti's another opportunity. Badger's going to eat up that shot, though. I expect them being down 3. The Badger's probably going to head to the bench with 3.5 minutes left in this game. Again, it's do or die. You really have nothing to lose. There's not really a big difference between a 3-goal lead and a 4-goal lead. So it's complete desperation mode for the Tigers here. And we talk about the shot margin. It's starting to grow in favor of the Dogs. Earlier, it was as high as maybe 7 or so. Not too bad for the Tigers, but now it's a full 10-shot differential, 42-32 in favor of the Dogs. Just under 5 minutes to play here at the Pavilion, Taylor, South Carolina, the coolest place in town. There we go, a roof counter, now up to 3 this late in the game. That pass just sent right up into the roof. And you were actually talking about that with Baltus on your podcast a few days ago about the roof, and he was telling you about the fact that nobody's used to a roof being this low. Yeah, in high school hockey, the roofs aren't even this low, so you're just used to clearing the zone and trying to get a line change, and they just send it into the beams that are about only 10, 15 feet above the ice. It's a different change. Yeah, an interesting element to the Pavilion here. Kind of a unique thing, though. It adds some life to the place and gives you something to look forward to if you love our roof counter, or if you're on the ice and you absolutely hate it, it gives you something to dread. But either way, adds character to the place, and everybody loves some character. So here we go. This puck sent back down behind Badger and his net. The Tigers picking it up and trying to move it forward, but once again, Georgia very stifling. The Tigers still moving it forward, and Carroll will try to do a spinorama, lose possession, sent back into the neutral zone. Tigers resetting here. Halsey sending it over to Dutt, who's going to send it forward. Dutt still with possession, but he gets poked away, and now the Dogs once again on the attack. Baltus playing good defense, trying to get the puck back in favor for the Tigers. However, Georgia still claiming possession down in the corner, sending it back. Another Dog trying to connect. They had some open players. Barber's just going to lay it off, and the Dogs will reset, and this is actually good for the Dogs as they just able to knock off some more time and kill some more clock. Fighting for possession of the puck down here. Evans passing it over to, looked like Pieknik, passing it over into the attacking zone. Racing for the puck are the two teams. Loose puck, and nobody able to claim possession. The Tigers now. Potentially an opportunity. Oh, no, nobody's able to connect with anyone down there. The Dogs bringing it forward just under 3.5 minutes now. And to your point, Matt, I don't think it's long until we see Badger heading to the bench. As a matter of fact, probably as soon as the Tigers get it out of this zone, he's going to head to the bench as we're nearing 3 minutes left in this game. Once they get possession, probably past the center point, they're going to probably send Badger to the bench. I'd be surprised if they don't. Yeah, a long shot, deflected. Georgia still, a shot, knocked away by Badger. Another shot, scooped up and saved by Badger. Well, it's hard to send Badger to the bench when you can't even get out of your defensive zone. Right. So, again, it needs to be complete desperation mode for the Tigers, but it just seems like total domination for Georgia. I think they have like 10 or 11 straight shots on net, so... This is not the team we saw to end the second period. No, and Badger off the face-off, laying on top, or not laying, but cover the puck up in the CPR position, essentially on his knees there. 2:56 left in this third period of play, in this action, in this game, unless the Tigers can pull off an incredible comeback here. 5-2 goal differential in favor of the Dogs. And once again, Santa Maria is shot wide. Jackson sending this puck into the neutral zone. The Tigers on the attack. I'm looking over at Badger here, seeing if he leaves. A shot. Barber knocking it away. Oh, and a huge hit into the boards.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be charging. Yeah, number 14 in red. He just shoves Isaiah face first into the boards.
Yeah,
see what this call is.
A huge.
Or 13.
13. That is Cameron Campbell, one of the assisters on the night, I believe. He had a penalty earlier, I believe. That's why we called his name. I knew we've called that name before tonight, but Cameron Campbell going into the box now. The Tigers on a power play opportunity. We talked about this, their first of the night, and a huge break for the Tigers, an opportunity that they absolutely need to capitalize. And with the man advantage, Badger still down there in the goal.
Yeah, I am really surprised right now that they haven't pulled Badger to make this a 6-on-4 opportunity.
Yeah. You would think he would be gone, and
well,
maybe this is
why
probably
why.
Poking it away, a one-on-one, and Badger with a nice scoop glove save. And we do have the confirmation from Gabby. You were right, it is a charging on number 13, Mr. Campbell, down there. A minute and a half left of this power play. 2:04 left in the game. The Tigers running out of time. They have to find a way to somehow scratch and claw and get 3 goals just to tie this thing and force overtime. A essentially improbable task, almost impossible task. But we've seen crazier things happen, Matt. Anything is possible in this sport. This is D3 club hockey, so the anything is possible is kind of magnified by about 15 here. But the Dogs an opportunity, and that is your quintessential dagger, folks. 6-2 now in favor of the Dogs after that goal. Shorthanded for Georgia. And Matt, if it wasn't over before, now it is.
I absolutely, I kind of want to take Badger out to dinner after this game. We're on a power play. There's absolutely no reason he should be left on an island like that in his own zone. We're bunching up in our own zone while we're on the power play. I just don't really have any words for the absolute breakdown that I just saw right there. Badger has been the reason this game probably isn't 12-0, or 12-2. So Badger's been playing a heck of a game, 47 shots. So not his season low. That's actually, it's pretty low for what he's faced this season. But again, that's when the other team puts nearly 50 shots on, some are bound to go in, especially when you're on an island like that.
Yeah, and that goal came from Solaski. He's got 2 assists on the night, so he finally gets himself a goal. Another 3-point game for a Georgia player. Johnston, with a goal earlier, picks up the assist there. Badger going to lay that puck off, nearing a minute left of action. The Tigers still have 30 seconds of power play here, but it really does not and has not felt like they were on a power play.
No, this has felt like
a goal opportunity, and no, the net gets dislodged. I don't know if it would have gone in anyway, as there's a collision down there. Everybody's just trying to get up, as just looked about 2 or 3 different players running into the net, knocking Emily Barber down into it.
I think it was just kind of a getting tied up and losing balance there. Glad to see she's okay. That's always a dangerous situation when a player gets slid into the goalie like that and knocks the goal off the hinges. So, and
it wasn't just one. It looked to be about 2 or 3 different players all tangled up down there for both teams, just running in full steam ahead and knocking directly into Barber and sending her into the goal. But glad everybody appears to be okay. Badger's just going to send this puck away. The final seconds of this power play are about to tick off. Georgia is a few seconds away from a successful penalty kill, and there it is, even strength here, and a goal Goal for the Tigers. So the deficit now cut in half, but too little too late probably. 28.3 seconds left. Unless the Tigers can pull off a miracle, this game's still over, but a huge pride goal there at the end. As these last few minutes, it seems that that's what you've just been playing for, is pride.
Yeah, it's good to see that they're still fighting for something. Again, like you said, it's a pride goal. It's good to see that's a silver lining with this team, that they're gonna fight to the end regardless of the score. So
that
you
goal
do love to
came
see that
from number 7 Michael Dutt, unassisted, doing it himself. So good to see Dutt. I think that's the first time we've called him for a goal this season. Don't know if he got one on the road. I can't confirm that it's his first.
He's been playing. He's been due for a goal. He's been playing some really good hockey. So glad to see he can finally get on the score sheet.
So congrats to Dutt there. We assume it's his first goal. At the very least, it's his first home goal on the season. Cuts the deficit now 6-3 for the Tigers. But these final seconds here are seemingly going to tick off. Georgia passing it away. Halsey moving the puck into the neutral zone and sends it away. There's the final buzzer. So the Tigers will lose a tough one here.
Some players jawing at the...
Yes, we've got some extracurriculars here post-game. No love lost between these two teams after 2 meetings. And what's interesting to note is I was looking at the schedule. These two teams are going to play once, maybe twice more next semester. I know they meet back up at the pavilion right here once more. I can't remember if there's a second meeting. I think it might just be one.
Yeah, right now I'm looking at the schedule. It's just one. January 24th, we play this team again. So let's see if we can make some changes between now and then.
Yeah, no love lost between these teams. We'll see if any of this spills over into that game next semester. One thing about it, a much longer layoff between this game and that game than there was between the previous game and this game. So maybe that helps ease the tensions a little bit, but I don't know. This Tigers team is very competitive. They're led by a very competitive man in Isaiah Jackson, and I don't think he's gonna forget anything at all. But an interesting matchup here tonight. It was a fun game, a good game, better for Georgia than it was for the Tigers. The first period, just to recap, all Georgia. 2 goals, escaping that period, 2-0 lead. Felt like it really did kind of feel like it had the makings to be another Georgia Tech Bon Secours game. That one, if we remember, we don't want to, but we remember 11-1 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. But alas, that was not the case. Thankfully for everyone, it was not the case. As the Tigers gave up an early goal to Georgia, made it 3-0, and it really felt like that's the direction we were heading. But the Tigers there at the end, 4-on-4 action, gets 2 goals in that 2-minute span, cuts the lead to 3-2. It seems like the Tigers, all the momentum in the world, they're right back in the thick of this game. And then Georgia, 3 unanswered goals there in the third period, and they just pull away too much for the Tigers to overcome. The lone goal there at the end for the Tigers to make it 6-3, too little, much too late. Michael Dutt gets his first goal of the season, at least at home here, and good to see him get some action. Good to see the Tigers not completely give up, get a pride goal at the end. But alas, again, too little, too late. The Tigers fall now 0-8-3 on the season. The one win they had this semester doesn't officially count. So they will end this half of the season, go into next semester in the second half, officially winless, and that has to be demoralizing for this team.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Clemson hockey right now. Hockey's 60 minutes, and we had about 7 good minutes in this game. We had 4-on-4. We're the best team 4-on-4, but hockey's not played 4-on-4.
Right.
So I want to talk about how this is your last game. It's been a privilege. It's been an honor calling with you. Wyatt, he graduates next. I'm gonna start tearing up. Dang it! It's been such an honor, a privilege, sir.
Matt, the pleasure and the honor is all mine. I remember last semester in the spring.
Yep.
You had a happenstance meeting. If you want to hear more about it, watch the Hockey Show with Nick Baltus. Listen to his podcast with Nick Baltus. A happenstance meeting in the dining hall, running into him. Both of you Washington Capitals fans. This is the only good thing the Capitals have ever done for me. You guys bring the opportunity up.
Except choked you guys plenty of times.
Plenty of times. But you bring up the opportunity of maybe broadcasting hockey games. You bring it to Josh. You bring it to Ryan. You bring it to me, and we all say, let's do it.
Yep.
And here we are all these months later. And Matt, it has been an absolute blast. It's been an honor calling these games with you. And I wish there was more time. I wish we could get more in. But
well, let me tell you something. This doesn't happen if you weren't so gracious to me at the first Tigervision meeting saying, hey, you like hockey? Come on in. Join me and Ashley. So you were the reason you were so welcoming in letting me join Tigervision with open arms. So Wyatt Streett, everybody. If you're not giving a standing ovation at home, you need to be. He's been a key part of Tigervision. He's been a key part of this broadcast, key part of my life here at Clemson so far. I know plenty of people can say the same. So we love you. We're going to miss the hell out of you. So,
Matt, thank you for everything.
Absolutely.
It's been a pleasure. So next season, or next semester rather, the second half of the season, it will not be me on play-by-play. It will instead be this man right here. He's shifting over to doing the play-by-play. Christian Brady, our man in the box, will no longer be in the box. He'll be up here on the balcony in the booth.
Yep.
He'll be taking your job, so to speak, and be our color man, and he's going to do a great job. I know it. We've shouted him out a lot. He's got great hockey IQ, a fantastic mind, the best hockey mind I think I've ever met in person. So you guys are going to do an excellent job. I look forward to listening to and watching those games. And
I have to say the coolest place in town at least like 12 times.
Yeah,
I have to say, in the words of the great Wyatt Streett, the coolest place in town.
I've started a few traditions here. You got to keep them rolling.
I know. I got to keep all the Halsey puns. You're going to be texting me.
The roof counter, man. You cannot let that die. So I was really hoping the Tigers could pull out a win for me here in this final game. But regardless, I got that Charlotte game. I don't care if it doesn't count. That goal, that game-winning goal for me,
still will live in infamy.
I will never forget it.
Yeah.
And this season has been an absolute blast. So to the Clemson Tigers Ice Hockey team, thank you for bringing this up and allowing us to broadcast these games. Thanks to the Pavilion, the coolest place in town, for having us here and giving us this opportunity to broadcast these games.
Yeah.
Thanks to all of you for tuning in and watching these games. It's been a fun, though disappointing at times on the ice, but still a fun semester for all of us calling these games. Matt, it's been a blast. Once again, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
It's been an honor.
I'm going to hop off and you can do your goodbye because this one's about you. So.
Don't do this, man.
I'll see y'all later.
Well, the Tigers fall in this game, the final game of this semester, the first half of the season, 6-3, a late goal and for pride, but it's been a blast. Thanks to everyone for watching. Thanks to everyone working so diligently behind the scenes. Gabby down in the box tonight, filling in on short notice, doing that job for Christian. Matt, thank you so much for being my broadcast partner this semester. Thank you for tuning in and watching. This has been Clemson Tigers Hockey on Tigervision. I'm Wyatt Streett signing off, and we will see you next semester for more hockey.